Good afternoon, pipeline traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a deep dive into one of my biggest plays, a position I've been watching for a very long time, Hive Digital Technologies. Now, this is a mid-six-figure holding for me, so it's a significant position, and I'm sharing it with you because the setup right now is absolutely phenomenal. Let's jump right into the charts. Hive has just broken out to a new high. If we look back, since August of 2022, we've seen a consistent pattern of lower lows. But now, for the first time in a long time, that bearish cycle has been broken. The technicals are screaming bullish. The 10-day moving average has crossed above the 20-day, and we're trading above both the 50-day and the crucial 200-day moving averages. This is the kind of strong technical signal I've been patiently waiting for. Now, let's zoom out to the weekly chart, because this is where the story gets really interesting. Hive has not been able to hold above the 200-day moving average since the last major bull run. We saw attempts in August 2022, July 2023, and even November of this year. Every single one was rejected. But this time feels different. Everything is aligning perfectly. Bitcoin is holding its key levels, and the supply and demand dynamics we're witnessing are unprecedented. Honestly, with the supply squeeze on exchanges, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if major funds like BlackRock, Fidelity, or Vanguard started looking to acquire Bitcoin mining companies directly to secure their BTC holdings. That's a massive catalyst for companies like Hive. So, what are the key levels we're watching? On the charts, I see some potential resistance up at $9.51. Before we get there, we have smaller hurdles around $6.84 and $7.45. For me, once Hive decisively breaks and holds above that $7.45 mark, I see a clear path toward $11 and possibly higher. We might see some minor healthy pullbacks along the way, but the trend looks strong. If you look at the monthly chart, moves of this magnitude for Hive historically happen very quickly, often within just a few months. Now we have to consider the broader market context. The AI narrative is driving incredible growth, but let's be real. PE ratios are starting to look like they did back in the dot-com era and right before the housing crisis. Because of that, I'm not going to get greedy. My strategy will be to take profits in 20 to 40% increments as we hit our price targets. The most critical level to watch is that 200-day moving average. If Hive can hold above it, we're golden. We might even see a retest of that level, maybe down around $4.92. And if that happens, I'd view it as a very strong buying opportunity. Personally, I prefer averaging up into strength rather than averaging down into weakness. This kind of confirmation is exactly what I look for. Just for full transparency, my average cost basis is in the low threes. I also hold low-cost option contracts with a $4 strike price that I bought for under $1. This gives me a nice cushion. If we were to see a rejection at these levels, I would exit the position immediately and wait for a potential retest to re-enter. Right now, with Hive holding above the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart, it's a major bullish signal. If Bitcoin decides to make a significant move this month, we can easily see Hive retesting that $20 to $28 order block from the previous cycle. My Elliott Wave analysis also suggests we are currently in Wave 3, which is typically the longest and most powerful wave. With a couple more minor pullbacks before the final Wave 5, alright, let's quickly touch on a couple of other names I'm watching. First up is BMNR. As I mentioned in my last video, I've been actively buying BMNR contracts. The price is currently sitting around $59. What's fascinating is there are 16,000 open interest contracts at that level. Institutions often try to manipulate prices to push them below these key option strikes. By next week, I expect that open interest to shift up towards the $65 strike, which signals a high probability of a move to that level. If BMNR breaks and holds above $65, it confirms the bullish trend and validates this recent run. If it fails and makes a lower low, we could see a pullback. But as long as we keep making higher lows, the trend remains bullish. Next up, Ethereum. It still hasn't hit that crucial psychological level of $5,000. Based on my analysis, I'm watching for a move to $6,034, which lines up with the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. We see strong volume and momentum come in. I think ETH can definitely push through to that target. And of course, we can't forget about Bitcoin. It's been performing incredibly well. It recently hit the 1.272 extension, held the 1.0 fib level at $107,404, and has been consolidating nicely. So, to recap, keep a close eye on Hive, BMNR, ETH, and Bitcoin. The key takeaway for today is Hive holding above its 200-day weekly moving average. That is a huge bullish signal. We need to see BMNR validate its move above $65. Both ETH and Bitcoin could continue to show seasonal strength into the end of the year. As always, stay disciplined, trade with intention, and remember why you're doing this. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got any value from this, please hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. God bless.